Strategic beta is the biggest development in exchange-traded funds in the past decade. Franklin Templeton, a giant from San Mateo in open-ended funds, is releasing its Liberty shares this year. Here to talk with us about it is David Mann, head of ETFs for Franklin Templeton.
One of the biggest misconceptions with exchange-traded funds is looking at the size of the fund or its average daily volume. Especially for newer products, the better indicator is the liquidity of the underlying basket, and in the early trading of an ETF, its trading will be dictated by the liquidity of the underlying basket. As time goes on, and hopefully when trading picks up and the fund gets bigger, that's when you'll start to see the spreads potentially tighten of the ETF, but in early days it's driven by the spread of the basket. But the takeaway should be, even if there's not a lot of average daily volume, you can still get trades done within the ETF. Well, the takeaway shouldn't be, I don't want to get a certain exposure just because the average daily volume isn't very high. And certainly one of the jobs is, from a capital markets lens, is working with the authorized participants and the market makers to make sure the spreads are tight, such that when advisors want to trade, that it's actually a very seamless transaction. When advisors are talking to their clients, it's very simple. It says, hey, all the ETF is a wrapper, that there is a whole underlying liquidity of the securities represented by the ETF. That way you can focus on the product methodology and the product characteristics, and the trading should be in line with the value of the underlying securities. Looking at the future of ETFs, the initial adopters were understanding the wrapper and more of a gravitation towards index investing. What we've seen is a growing trend of investors getting more and more comfortable that other exposures could happen within the ETF wrapper. Things like strategic beta, smart beta, more niche exposures, even active ETFs. And as they become more and more familiar with the wrapper, that's able to get them additional exposures, we would only see that segment of the market growing.